The third leaf. In the creeks of the Niger Delta lived a fisherman named Chinedu. He was a quiet man with strong hands and a lonely heart. His canoe cut through the brackish waters every dawn, but no matter how full his net, his home felt empty. One stormy evening, as thunder rolled across the sky and rain lashed the leaves, Chinedu paddled home through a narrow creek. He heard a desperate flapping and a cry that was not quite a bird's. Tangled in the sharp prop roots of a mangrove was a magnificent white swan, its feathers gleaming like moonlight on water, one wing caught cruelly in the thorns. Chinedu tied his canoe and waded in carefully. With his fishing knife, he freed the great bird, speaking softly so it would not panic. As the swan shook its wings and rose, it did not fly away. Instead, its form shimmered. The feathers melted into light, and before him stood a tall, slender man dressed in robes woven from river mist and palm fronds. His eyes were ancient and kind. "I am Esh, the river king of these waters," the spirit said, his voice like the gentle lap of waves. "You have shown mercy where most would have passed by or taken me for meat. For this, I grant you 3 wishes. But hear me well, son of the Delta, wishes are like the tide, they give and they take. Use them with wisdom, or they will use you." From his palm, Esh plucked a single fresh green leaf, veined with silver, and placed it in Chinedu's hand. "Speak your wish while holding the leaf. When the wish is granted, the leaf will wither. You have 3. Chinedu returned home that night, the leaf glowing faintly in his pocket. For days he thought carefully. His first wish came on a night when loneliness pressed on his chest like wet nets. He held the leaf and whispered, "I wish for a wife, beautiful as the morning mist on the river, gentle as the evening breeze, who will love me and fill my home with joy." The leaf shivered and turned brown at the edges. The next morning, a woman stood at his door. Her name was Neoma. Her skin was smooth like polished ebony, her laughter light as river bells, and her eyes held the depth of the creeks. The villagers marveled at her grace. Chinedu's heart swelled. For the first time, his house rang with song and the smell of pepper soup and fresh fish. They lived happily for 3 seasons. Neoma tended the garden, wove beautiful mats, and danced at festivals. Yet sometimes, when the full moon silvered the water, Chinedu would wake to find her standing at the window, staring toward the mangroves with a distant, sorrowful look. When he asked, she would only smile and say, "It is nothing, my husband. The river calls to everyone sometimes." As the years passed, the sorrow in her eyes grew. She ate little. Her laughter became rarer. She began to wander alone to the edge of the creek at dusk, trailing her fingers in the water as if searching for something lost. One night, after she had cried softly in her sleep, Chinedu understood. He remembered the swan's desperate flapping, the wild beauty of the river king. With a heavy heart, he took out the second leaf. He held it and said, "I wish for my wife Neoma to be truly happy, in the way her spirit was meant to be happy." The leaf withered completely. That very moment, Neoma stirred. She turned to him with tears of gratitude and relief shining in her eyes. "Thank you, Chinedu," she whispered. "You have seen me." Before his eyes, her form shimmered like moonlight on water. Feathers of pure white unfolded where her wrapper had been. She became the swan once more, a majestic, free, and whole. With one graceful movement, she spread her wings and flew through the open window toward the mangroves, calling a single, pure note of farewell that echoed across the creeks. Chinedu stood alone in the silence. The house felt emptier than before, yet somehow lighter. Many moons later, when the harmattan winds blew dry and cool, an old friend asked why he never took a new wife or sought more fortune. Chinedu smiled sadly and took out the final green leaf, still fresh, untouched. "I have one wish left," he said. "But I have learned that some things cannot be forced to stay in a shape that is not theirs. The River King was kind, but the greatest kindness I can give now is to let the tide flow as it will." He walked to the edge of the mangrove creek where he had first found the swan. He knelt, dipped the final leaf into the water, and released it. As the leaf floated away, dissolving into silver sparkles, Chinedu felt a deep peace settle over him. From the trees came the sound of wings, and for a moment he thought he saw a white swan watching him with grateful eyes. From that day, the villagers said that any lonely fisherman who showed true kindness by the creeks might hear the River King's voice on the wind. But they also whispered that the wisest man among them was Chinedu, who used 2 wishes for love and 1 for freedom, and kept his final wish forever in his open hand, never spoken. For some gifts, the greatest power is knowing when to set them free.